So, guys, like Xenia mentioned, this panel invites designers to share the vision for the future. And for that, we have these designers give you some presentations which will be displayed on the screen, and they will take you through the presentation. So I begin actually now. My first panelist would be Arun. Shekhar Gowda is the co-founder of Humming Tree, a studio known for its disconstructed, surrealist approach to design. An avid traveler and practicing artist, Arun's creative journey began at 14, and he has intense experiences that continue to influence his work today. Arun, please take over the stage, and I'd like you to go through the presentation with the audience, telling them what does design hold for Future 2050.
Hi guys, my name is Arun Shekhar, and thank you POV for having me today here. So yeah, I run a studio called Humming Tree with my best friend and partner Mohammed Afnan. So today we thought we'll not do so much of a serious talk. We just thought put up a presentation where we thought it's our perspective on how we consider futuristic design would look like. So going in, welcome to 2050, where your house doesn't just have like a voice assistant, but so many things where, your couch judges on how you dress, and you have curtains that can actually be as dramatic as your conversation is. Moving in, you have this where we're living in an era where it's copy paste chic, and Pinterest boards are just like a new design school, and beige is just like a cult. So this is what we are living in right now. But I think in future where clients want just Japandi Zen vibes with 100 different requirements, everything in that fits in 800 square feet home. So we feel that the design would be, or for the designers, it's so important for us to visualize on how it would be in future where we can look at the screen and then our mind could control our laptops or our work screen at the same time. You can parallelly work on it, and then your clients can have a say, and then it automatically generates. So this is something that we generated through AI. Only you scribble, and then it automatically generates a 3D and then a visual component and how it can be perceived. Another thing is how now Elon Musk is developing so much chips in your brains that can actually control the signals on how you think and how you design. So this is another depiction on how we design and how it graphically illustrates on the sheet or the sketch. So this is what we feel like is the industry expectations, where more AI, more drama, and less beige. I feel like in 2050, concrete will be still around, but just wearing dramatic shapes, amazing shapes and forms. Clients will be forever, even in 2050. They'll be saying that they need budget with some 10,000 different options and desires that they have. And we designers will be still in 2050 where we'll be still broke, but we'll be still fabulous at the end of the day.
Next, since this is a design Tardis, and we have people from design in different verticals, so I'd like to invite Kanak Nanda. Kanak is an artist, designer, psychologist, and one of India's leading color and texture consultants. Kanak works over a decade of experience. She helped major braid brands develop textures and color palettes, and she's got Indian and global presence. Kanak, the stage is all yours.
I am a texture and color consultant for India's leading paint companies, Asian Paints, Berger Paints, and Birla Opus. So we have these visualizer apps, okay, where you can take a photograph of your own home, any space, and then you can add colors. Colors, of course, we don't only talk about colors that are trending. We also talk about textures. So, if you've had a look at, most of the stalls here, they have a lot of textures, and all of them are very different in terms of, it could be a clay-based, it could be concrete, it could be any of those things. So all these are textures which we've created to mimic the natural products. So we've got stone-based, wood, liquid metal. I mean, it's crazy out there. So all these things are being used to basically to make safer homes. Before coming to the final part, which is what I feel the future product is, I'll talk about a little bit of the material and technology which will get us there. So we just spoke about paint, of course. So starting with that, I'm hoping that we'll get to see a lot of paints made naturally with bacteria and algae and all those things. So they become more sustainable. Y'all have heard of glow-in-the-dark paint, or y'all have seen it? Okay, so those are actually made with pigments which are very harmful. So imagine these algae, which emit light naturally, are used in the paint to create glow-in-the-dark paint. So that's one of, the cool things. Or even if you're looking at not just the paint, even if you're looking at a canvas, we talk about paper. Paper is something which is going to not be there, at least by 2050. So we're looking at bio paper, we're looking at leather panels made out of bacteria, and more sustainable products, which is all the e-waste, all your metal scrap, all your things that we've discarded, which will be used as a base to create the new products. So there are two ways for everything. One direction is where everybody is going the digital way. You don't even have to go to a museum anymore. You can just sit in your home, put your goggles and get whatever you want on it. Or you could be putting yourself into a painting. I mean, all these things are possible. And that's what the future of AI and virtual reality looks like. But I am more of an old school. I still feel that handmade and anything to do with a human touch is always going to be there, and it's always going to be relevant. So whether we are talking about products which are nature inspired. Okay, so when I'm assuming that we are in 2050, we have a lot of digital screens everywhere, everything is concrete, and there are no gardens, our natural resources have really gone down. So all we want to do is stay connected to that. So we are going to be creating art which is using natural.
I have joining me here now for the next presentation, architect Gaurav Sanghavi, who's a partner, Pentaspace Design Studio. Gaurav is an innovator and motivator at the helm of Pentaspace, leading conceptualization and project planning with vision and creative intent. Known for his understanding of planning, his designs carry a signature timelessness, balancing aesthetics with functionality.
A very good evening to everyone. What do we do back home? Okay, that's the world scenario, that's the past. What do we do in India, right? How do we kind of take things ahead in India? We are an agro nation. We are, yes, we are fast. Urbanization is fast catching up. I think by 2050, the numbers are about 50% of India is going to be urban, which is a very, very big number, right? But we need to kind of make sure that we kind of balance the rural and urban in terms of, the agriculture part of it, because that's our strength, right? We should kind of maximize that because there is history behind that. There is a lot of education which has gone into it, and there is a lot of application which even a common farmer knows, right? Somehow we are kind of saying that this is urban and this is rural and, this urbanization. So I think we need to blur that line into an agri-texture kind of a concept where we kind of get agriculture into the urban spaces. So these are buildings which we are designing at this point. This is a skyscraper in Mumbai where we've integrated a hydroponic landscape. We've had a biophilic tree which is kind of going through the refuges. We have vertical farming and edible landscape. This is a school which we're designing in a village where we're doing vertical farming. Children are running out of the classroom and plucking cherry tomatoes and eating. So hydroponic landscape. Here we are making a museum in one of the cities where, again, the rooftop is completely edible landscape. So I think we need to kind of think where India needs to go. Yes, of course, take clues from where the world is going, for sure. But we need to kind of start interpreting in our own dimension how India needs to kind of evolve, because we have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. We need to kind of mitigate that and see where we can go. This is my dream. I think I definitely want to build somewhere in space. Hopefully, we'll do it one day. Let's see. Thank you very much.
Next, I have Rhea Mehta, who's a lighting designer and an installation artist. Rhea Mehta is an internationally recognized luxury lighting and installation designer, known for creating dramatic, large-scale works spanning over 100 feet. Her projects have become showstoppers across the globe, including India's second-largest installation for Taj Hotels, along with the work for Marriott's and other hospitality group, and celebrity clients like Hrithik Roshan. So here we have Rhea. Rhea, the stage is yours.
I am a luxury lighting designer. And so this entire presentation is going to be about the past of lighting, where we are today, and where it's going to be in the future. So in the 19th century, when humankind probed the idea of containing light in a glass enclosure and called it a bulb, it seemed far-fetched to imagine what we can do with lighting today. From trying to control light to merely practical ways of applications, and today to creating large-scale actual installations and cities using lights. So lighting has evolved as an extension to the personality of a space. It's poetry of the space, and it sets its mood. It carries emotion, and it creates an environment that makes you feel. When it comes to the future, in terms of technology, I believe that everything that we do is, of course, only for ease, comfort, and making our lives easier every day. So in the next 50 years, life is just going to be, you just think about it, press one button, and whatever you want just happens in front of you without having to even step out of the bed. In terms of installations, right now we are using materials and adding lights to it. But I think holographic installations where you don't need any material, but it's just going to be made with light, will become more common, including even demonstrations in schools where I feel like there will be holographic installations of larger objects. There is another really beautiful furniture line created by this artist, which is made by the water hyacinth. So it's actually a very deadly plant which causes a lot of damage to the local communities. But they've basically created braiding techniques with the water hyacinth to create an entire furniture line. Even right now you see like the vegan leather and all the non-cruelty materials are being used more and more. So in the future, I think lighting is going to become a much more mainstream career option where schools are going to actually teach people lighting design. Lighting will be seen as an extension to human emotions. Like even now, we don't realize how much lighting impacts us. We say phrases like, she lights up a room, or he has a dark personality, without realizing that we're talking about lighting. Lighting affects the mood of the space and even the pace at which we consume food. So when we're sitting in a hotel, if the ambience is soft, dimmer lighting, we'll consume food at a slower pace versus if it's brighter lighting. And the hospitality industry is currently using this. So these kind of behavior, all of this is going to be used even further in the future to basically shape our human behavior. In terms of sustainability and material, there's going to be intentional design, ethical production, craftsman welfare, and ethical consumption. There are going to be a lot more galleries which are going to have art tech-based installations, such as the Art Tech Museum in Miami. And even, for example, in India right now, there's a new lighting festival that is going to begin. So all of this is going to start becoming much more common. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhea. That was really good. I am also going to invite one more person from lifestyle segment. That is a jewelry designer. Rajiv Popley, director, Popley Group. Rajiv Popley is a third-generation jeweler and director of Popley Group, leading luxury retail ventures across Mumbai and Dubai. With over 3 decades in the jewelry industry, he has driven global collaborations with brands like Walt Disney, LVMH, and Swatch Group, while pioneering his innovations like 3D printing, art-inspired jewelry. Rajiv, I'd like you to join all of our presenters. Yeah, we've seen a lot of future, a lot of AI. Tell me, as far as jewelry is concerned, what do you see as jewelry design in 2050? Will it remain physical, or will it move through towards digital AR embedded forms?
AI and AR have already entered jewelry industry. In fact, we do this as our part of the expansion in the category is concerned, digitally and physically at the store. Nevertheless, the whole emphasis, what we want and we would love to have is the human touch, which is really important, whereas art or creation of any piece is concerned. Finally, what AI and AR are actually doing is reinterpreting whatever the human philosophy has already worked on. So that needs to remain. Nevertheless, the manufacturing part, which is happening, like what we are doing is 3D printing, more sustainable because evolves from the karigars, the craftsmen who actually are the backbone of the industry, and makes it more sustainable as manufacturing and something which is, you can say, more cleaner as a product, technically more sound, and evolves around many more things which are required whereas fineness of jewelry creation is concerned.
So as I see, two artists on board are little reluctant as far as AI is concerned. My two designers, rather three designers, are very pro as AI is concerned. But beyond all the exciting tech, what's the one creepy design trend you hope we would avoid in 2050? Arun?
I think
Arun
anything.
doesn't want beige.
The cult.
Yeah, the beige or anything that does not have anybody's personality for that matter, right? Either it's not client's personality nor the designer's personality. Somebody who comes with a picture on a Pinterest and say, I want my home like this, it's a big no, I feel. Like, clients, like everybody needs to have a personality for their space. It's so important.
Correct.
And having not that, like designing your space or home or anything for that matter that does not scream you should just go away, I feel. Like, I
Gaurav?
don't know, do you agree with me? Like
I
don't
do. I do. Gaurav?
I'm more worried about the client coming with his personality with AI. Yeah, so that is the more scarier part, because I think with the tools and the advancement, I think customization will become so easy, and I think everybody will kind of express themselves more and more. If they are expressing themselves on Insta at this point or on Pinterest and all of that, just imagine 2050 with AI. I think they'll just say that this is what I want. This is my personality, and just make it.
Start making it.
Wow, so everybody's all ready for AI. On that note, I kind of end this fantastic presentation. Thank you guys for being here, being a part of the panel, and showing us what 2050 will look like. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.